For those listening on Spotify, you should be able to see the video. It's a podcast video, in which case you'll be able to see the actual Amud that we're learning right now, just to make it easier to follow along. So please utilize that. Okay, so we're going to start another week, two blot a week, the incredible Masechtas Brachos, jam-packed Masechta, and we are going to start from, well, today's Amud will be Vav Amud Aleph, but we're going to start from the bottom of Hey Amud Beis. By the two dots, 3 lines from the bottom, the first word on the line, Tanya. Tanya, Abba ben Yamin Oimer. Abba ben Yamin says, Shnaim shenichnesu l'spalel. 2 people go into daven, go into a cave to daven. V'kadam echad mehem l'spalel v'lo yhamten es chaver. Let's say one guy comes out and he doesn't wait for his friend, meaning he doesn't wait for his friend to finish. He goes out himself and leaves his friend all alone in the cave. V'yatza, and he goes out. Tarfin lo tfilasai b'fanav. His tefillah is torn apart. Not only that, but this is taken a step further. But he causes the Shechina to go away from Yisrael. I'm sorry, I skipped. Tzor is referring to Hashem. Tasi. Okay, so we know that a person should wait for his friend. If he's going into a cave, he should wait for his friend before he leaves and not leave him alone. Right? So let's say he does wait for him. Then what's his schar? So Rabbi Chanina, to get blessings. Whatever these blessings are. Brachos alo. Shnemar loya hakshava lemitzvah savi kenahar shleimecha v'tzikascha kegal layam v'hikachol zaracha v'tzatzai mecha. It should be noted that this was back in the day. They used to daven in the fields. It was much more of a dangerous endeavor. Just to keep someone alone was very dangerous. So obviously that was not a very generous thing to do to keep someone alone. But in general nowadays, obviously shuls are locked. It's not necessarily the same situation. Okay. Tanya, Abba ben Yamin Oimer, ilmole nisna rishus la'ayin lirais. So, if we had permission to see these shadim, ein kol bria yachol lam bnei azigin. Nobody would be able to stand them. If we could see the shadim, nobody would be able to handle them. Amar Abai, inu nefishi minayan. Where do we know that they had so many of them? And they stand over us like piles of dirt surrounding a pit. How do we know that? Amar Yehuda, kol chad v'chad minayin. Every one shade. So we're going to learn some things about shadim now, okay? Each shade has 1,000 to its left. Alpha mismale, 1,000 to its left. Urvavta miamine, and 10,000 to its right. We know that, it seems like a lot, right? But, obviously if someone takes a magnifying glass and they look to the left and the right, there's millions of little germs that they see, these little particles flying around. So it's, I guess, some sort of a feasible concept. Amar Rava, hayduchka dehave bechala, minayu havi. The crowding of the kala, right, is from the shadim, right? They gather to learn during El and Adar. That's from the shadim. Hani berche deshali, the knees that are worn out. That's minayu. That's from the shadim. Hani moini de rabbanon devalu, the cloths of the rabbanon that were also worn out. Mechufya dedu. It's from there. It's from the friction from the shadim. Hani karaidim and akfan, the pain in people's feet. That's from the shadim. Minayu. That's from the shadim. Haiman debai lemeida luhu, one that wants to know that shadim exist in the first place. Let's say someone's curious. They want to know, I want proof that these shadim exist. So here's a way to do it. Laisi kitma nihila. He should place ashes around his bed. V'nadar apure, and he gets up in the morning. V'nadar apure v'tzafran, in the morning chazi kikare desar ne gaila. And in the morning you'll see it looks like a chicken's footprint. Haiman debai lemechazinu. So that's for someone that wants proof. What about someone that wants to see them? So what should he do? So laisi shel yasai deshun narta ukamta bas ukamta buchrasa bas buchrasa. So what should he do? He should take a firstborn female black cat, born to a firstborn female black cat. So a firstborn son of a firstborn, right? And velikle benura, and burn it in the fire, velishachke velimle ine mine vechaziluhu, and grind it and place it in his eyes, and lo and behold, he'll see the shadim. This is unbelievable stuff. Velishte begufta de farzela, and he has to place the ashes in an iron tube. Velachtaim pumye. I'm sorry, I skipped again. And seal it with an iron. Because maybe the demons will, what happened to these shadim, these demons, they'll steal it and they'll seal the opening. And in order to so therefore you seal the opening of the iron so you won't be harmed from these shadim. Rabbi Bar Abaye Avad Hachi, he did this Chazvi Tazak, and guess what happened? He did get damage for them. By Rabbanan Rachmeleu Ve'etasi, and the Rabbanan davened for him, and he got better. Okay, interesting Gemara over there about shadim. Big question: do shadim exist? Do they exist? Did they ever exist? Seems from the Gemara and Chagiga, they list a few different types of shadim and many others that shadim did in fact exist and probably still do exist, but don't bother us anymore. It's very interesting. The Rambam's the one that does argue on that, and he says it's all nonsense. No such thing as shadim. You shouldn't pay attention to that. But most people do seem to say shadim exists. And very interesting thing. Well, how could the Rambam go against everyone? Could be that the Rambam said now they don't exist, but granted, in the time of the Mishnah and the Gemara, they did exist. Why is that? Well, why do they exist? Why don't they exist now more? When there is more kedusha in the world, when there's nevuah in the world, then you need more forces to pull. Like when there's more of a yetzer tov, essentially, you need more of a yetzer hara. So you need more things pulling in a different direction. But nowadays there's more tumah in the world, so therefore we don't need these shadim to distract us either way. So therefore the shadim don't bother us nowadays. But it's a very interesting discussion nonetheless. Let's go weiter. Tanya, Abba ben Yamin Omer, Ain't tefillah shel adam dishmas el beis hakneses. A person's tefillah is only heard in a shul. By the way, this is even b'yechidus. Even if you don't have a minyan, best to daven in a shul. Shneimar l'shmayel arina be'el tefillah b'makam rina. In a makam rina, sham tehei tefillah. That's where there's tefillah. Amaravin and a makam rina, that's considered a shul. Amaravin, Barab Ba'ada, Amar Yitzchak, Minayin shekadosh baruch hu matzah beis hakneses. Where we know Hashem can be found in a shul. That's where he is. Shneimar Elokim not nitzav ba'adas kel. U'minayin lasar m'shem mispalel and sheshchinim. Where we know that 10 people that daven together, a minyan, that the Shekhinah is with them. Shneimar Elohim natzav be'adas kel. Where do we know that 3 people that sit in judgment, that the Shekhinah is with them? Shneimar be'kerev Elohim yishpoit. Close to Hashem, they are judging. Where do we know? Just like you and me right now, right? We're learning together. So 2 people that are learning bechavrusa, I think it probably means physically, I'm not sure. But 2 people that are learning together, bechavrusa, where do we know that the Shekhinah is with them? Shneimar az nedaber yirei Hashem ish el re'ehu. Vayakshav Hashem. What does it mean? What does that pasuk mean? Ravashi chashav adam lasais mitzvah. Let's say a person intends to do a specific mitzvah. For whatever reason, he couldn't do it. He wanted to do it, but he couldn't. It was out of his control. It's considered, it's written, the pasuk says about him, it's as if he did it. Very famously, right? If someone wants to do a mitzvah, it's a kavanah that counts. Very beautiful point. It's the thought that counts. And interestingly enough, this really only applies to mitzvahs that have been on makam. So if it's been out on makam, then Hashem could tell you, right? If it's between you and me, God says, then I'll give you the credit. If you wanted to do it, that's good enough for me. It shows the incredible rahmanas of Hashem. But if it's between you and a person, then it's result oriented. So if the result didn't happen, then he can't necessarily give you the credit for that, because that affects another person as well. But if it's between you and God, beautifully enough, even the thought, even trying, even the effort counts as if you did the mitzvah. Weiter. Where do we know that even one person that sits down and learns, the Shekhinah is with him? Any place where you mention my name, I will come to you. And I'll bless you. So Gemara is now going to ask, now that we said the Shekhinah is with one person learning, so then why did we need to say previously that the Shekhinah is with 2 people learning? Just say one, and I'll know the Shekhinah is with 2 people. What do you need both for? So Gemara says, Trey michtavan me'elayu b'sefer zechronis. 2 people learning together, that's written in the Sefer Zechronis, in the book of remembrance. That's written down for good. One is not written in the Sefer Zechronis. One is not written down for good. So it's interesting. What does this mean exactly? Taisva says that it's written, if it's 2 people, it's written down not only for your Sefer Zechronis, but for other people's too, meaning everyone's going to see it, because it's set in stone. But if it's one person, it's still written down, but it's not written down for other people as well. There's a couple of different pshatim on this as well. And another question, now that we said the Shekhinah is with 2 people, what do you need to tell me the Shekhinah is with 3 people? Obviously, it's Kal V'chomer. Where it says, I might think, no, judgment is different than learning. It's just shlama, meaning shalom. It's just trying to create peace in the world. It's a great thing, but it doesn't bring the Shechina. Kamash Malon, the Dina Nami Hanu Torah. No, judging is considered Torah. Judging for the sake of judging, for the sake of enforcing halacha, that is considered Torah. Fracting more again. Look, so we went from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4. Right? So from 3. Now we're going to go from 3 to 10. Remember we said, how do we know that there's 10 people that the Shekhinah is with them? Well, we already said that 3 people the Shekhinah is with them. Obviously 10 people. What's that necessary for? It says, Asara Kadma Shechina Va'asei Klasa Adiyasvi. Very, very, very beautiful. That Hashem, when there's 10 people, Hashem is in front of the line. He goes to the shul first, right? There's 10 people, he's jumping in the shul first. When it's 3 people, first he waits for everyone to sit down, then he goes there. But when it's 10 people, Hashem's in front of the line. Unbelievable. Unbelievable point. Okay, weiter. We'll go 2 dots to the next 2 dots, which is just the first couple words of the next Amud, and then we'll stop for now. Where do we know that Hashem wore tefillin? Wow, Hashem wore tefillin, unbelievable. Shneimar nishba Hashem biyaminai ubizroya uzai. Okay, so what does this mean? Biyaminai, when it says with his right hand, zu Torah, that's referring to Torah. Shneimar miyaminai eish das lamai ubizroya uzai elu tefillin, that's referring to tefillin. Shneimar Hashem oiz liyama yitin. Uminayin shat tefillin oiz. Where do we know tefillin's oiz? Heim Yisrael. Techsiv v'ro kol amei haaretz ki shem Hashem nikra alecha v'yiru mimeka. This is referring to Tefillin Sharosh. These are talking about Tefillin de Mari Alma. Oh, these Tefillin that we're referring to. What is it? What's written in the Tefillin? So Amalei Mika Amcha Yisrael. Who is like the nation Yisrael? Goy Echad Ba'aretz. No one like him. Umi Mishtabeach Kadosh Baruch Hu B'Shem Chayu Yisrael. Right, meaning who says that one who praises the Klal Yisrael is praising a Kadosh Baruch Hu is 2 separate things, right? If one praises Hashem, they praise Hashem. But who says praising a Klal Yisrael is as if you're praising a Kadosh Baruch Hu? So Gemara says, "Techsiv es Hashem amarta hayom, Hashem amaricha hayom." Amalem Kadosh Baruch Hu. So Hashem said to Yisrael, "Atem asisuni chativa achas ba'olam." You made me a very unique thing in the world. V'ani esa eschem chativa achas ba'olam, and I will make you very unique in the world. What does this mean? What does it mean we made Hashem unique in the world? And what does it mean vice versa, that He made Him unique? Let's see. What does it mean that you guys made me unique? God is saying that you, Klal Yisrael, you made me unique in the world. How is that? We say it every day, twice a day, right? We say 3 times really, right? We say Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. He's unique. He's one. We proclaim Him as one. So we make Him unique. And I make you guys unique in a certain sense. How is that? I said, who's like Yisrael? Nobody's like my nation Yisrael. There's only one like them in the land. This makes sense. Okay, so now we know it's written in one of the batim in the tefillin. All right? Mika Amcha Yisrael. But what about another 3? So Amalei, let's go. We got a few psukim here. Kimi goy gadol, imi goy gadol. Ashrach Yisrael, oyanasa elikim, v'lititen eliyan. So that's 4 psukim. The Gemara says, Ihachi, nafisha l'itayva bati. There was only 4 batim in tefillin. Here we're just listed 5. So which 4 of the 5 is it? So you could say, Elikimi gadol, umi goy gadol, the ramin lahadadi ba'asa. These 2 psukim are in one one of the batim. That's 2. And they're in another one of the bottom. And then we have an option for the last for one of the last bottom. And all of them are written on the tefillin shel yad. All of them are written on the armed tefillin in one parchment. Okay, shkaich everyone. That was Vav Amud Aleph, and Be'ezras Hashem next time we'll get to Vav Amud Beis. Stop on the top by the 2 dots.